What's your name and badge number, sir?
It's Deputy Glass. Looks like a glass window, GLASS, badge number 5680.
I don't live in glass houses.
I'm not sure what you mean by that reference, sir.
I'm a targeted individual of gang stalking, and you are violating my rights.
A gang stopping?
Targeted individual of gang stalking.
I'm not, it's not a gang stopping, sir.
Gang stalking is what you are participating in, whether or not you know it. I'm an unarmed, non-combatant, and I travel by means of a private conveyance, personal automobile, or a personal motorcycle, which is not present. All of which being my personal property and private personal means of conveyance to get myself and my guests peacefully and peaceably from place to place in the pursuit of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, period. My level of competency and proficiency to do so said things is that I've been doing them since the age of majority, peacefully and peaceably. I do so on the roads and highways that are literally defined in and by the state, foreign state, and federal statutes, codes, and case law being every way, lane, road, street, and boulevard, every way, statute, codes, case, law, as being every way, lane, road, street, boulevard, and every way or place in the United States of America and elsewhere. I have not committed a crime, nor am I suspected of committing a crime. Whether there was an infraction committed, lights and detainment unlawfully with no crime witnessed is a felony committed by your officer. I have not committed a crime. There should be no lights, there should be no harassment, there should be no stopping, there should be no detainment, there should be no questioning. I have the right to remain silent. If you need my documentation, it's right there for you, sir.
You're good.
All right, can I just be on my way now, please? You can see I know the law.
This is the primary guy on the stop man, and I'm pretty sure he stopped you because you didn't have a plate.
Nope, he said that there was a stop sign ran, and I did not run a stop sign.
Okay.
So it's that's the bottom line. Plates or no plates, which I'm not required to have, and I can show you all the law all day, all night. So
Okay.
every 5 minutes that you refuse to sign this is $100,000 out of your city coffer.
Okay.
All right. I'm just trying to be courteous by speaking with you. I know I have the right to remain silent. So I'm going to engage in that right now until you just let me be peaceably on my way. Okay? And all due respect, because I respect y'all highly. I respect you to the fullest.
Absolutely.
My grandfather served many years, both of
In
them.
law enforcement?
No, in the service,
Military?
Vietnam
Nice.
and the Navy. So
both
it's
my
no
uncles were,
disrespect here.
Oh, you're good. I saw the don't tread on me. I got that. flag
Yeah, I have a
afterwards.
whole, you know,
I've been in the Marines for 8 years. So
old
my
salute.
family's also
Salute. You know, look,
in the service. And stuff.
my great grandfather was the founding father of this country that signed the Declaration of Independence, that made sure we had a Declaration of Independence. If it was not for my grandfather, there would be no America.
Okay.
His name's John Morton. Look him up. I'll give you that.
Nice.
It's the best I can do for you, you know?
Okay.
Very simple. You know, I know my rights and I exercise them freely. And I know that I have the right to travel freely and unencumbered and unfettered. This is encumbrance, and it is fettering. That means under my ruffling of the feathers, if you will, saying if you don't do this, that's terrorist threats. If I don't do this, you're going to do something to me. So it's all right. I know that there's a disconnect, and we just need to get that connected.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so that we can have a peaceful community and we can all live in love, brother, and under Christ. Because the law of God comes, and the law of man comes from the law of God, and I serve the law of God. That's the highest law in the land known to man. Amen. I keep my Bible here, and I'm a servant of Christ to the fullest. That's why His name is on my door. And I don't mean any disrespect to nobody. I try to carry myself respectfully and not be disrespectful until someone wants to tread on my rights. Then it's a little personal. My grandfather was killed for this, you know, and it's a very serious thing. So I don't want to take anyone else's time, and I don't want mine to be taken. And you know, if he believes he saw me run a red light, that's here nor there as far as infractions, and I did not. I know that for a fact because I stopped beforehand.
Okay.
And then came through.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, if that's what he told you, and that's why he stopped you. He's probably having them check the citywide cameras. I mean.
Right,
you know,
and
just to
see either way, it's not a crime.
Okay.
That's the bottom line, right? If you wanna write an infraction, we go to court over. That's fine and everything. But I don't consent to that because I know that there's no, in the first place, there's no, unless you witness me committing a crime which is damage to person or property, that's corpus delicti. I'm in court all the time. You know,
You're in court all the time?
all the time. I got court on the 11th, coming right up. Well, it's my business, right? Personal, but yeah, I'm in the courts left and right. So it's, you know, we got a lot of things we're litigating, all over the spectrum.
Yeah.
So I'm on E. You know, like to just get some gas, be on the way home. you know. So
Sort it out right now, man.
yep. And I mean, I do suggest that y'all, if you want to speak with me, this is what you have to do.
Okay.
That's the bottom line. You either fill this out or you let me on my way. That's the bottom line.
Okay.
All right. All due respect. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and engage in my right to remain silent. Okay. This is all I have for you, bud. Like I said, all due respect. You can.
I have my supervisor en route. I'll have him talk to you, okay?
All right. You don't want that?
I already told you no, sir, unless it's a driver's license, registration, and insurance info.
I'm not required to have any of those items. I am not a driver. I'm a common law freeman traveling at the common law of God, brother. And the common law of the Constitution, which is right here. You took an oath to protect and uphold the Constitution, correct? You know, if this isn't some sort of stalking setup, because like I said, look it up, targeted individual, gang stalking.
But see, I didn't target you for you.
That's what I'm saying. If
I
not,
run the red light, and that's why I stopped you.
if you're not targeting me, great. Then we have a commonality in that we're just two dudes just going about our business. That's great. You know, I get it all the time. That's why I know my rights and know the law so thoroughly, because I've been harassed my entire life. Because of who I am, because of who my grandfather is. He's the signer of the Declaration of Independence right here. His name is right on the Declaration of Independence.
Your grandfather?
Yes.
Great.
John Morton is the one that made sure that we have a Declaration of Independence. If it was not for my great-grandfather, my founding grandfather, where there would be no America as you know it and as I know it. John Morton. That's what I'll tell you about my grandfather.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, that's the truth, and it's nothing that I swing around. I'm just going to the gym and going home, man. My wife was raped and sold into sex trafficking because of who I am. Raped. Sold into sex trafficking to this day. So, you know, I've had plenty of my fair share of you know what I mean, of enough, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Nothing on this earth can be any worse than what I've been through already, except for death, and I'm ready for that. You know what I mean? And I'm ready to go home. This place sucks. So I'm ready to go to heaven, man. I'm good, you know? I don't need any more you know, torment and tortures and hardships and hard lessons learned. None of that, you know what I mean? Just need to go home, eat, sleep, get up, do my part to help the community, and go at it again.
I see all the you know, the soul.
That's what that's all. That's, you can see I'm a servant of God, the Most High God. I already hold myself to the highest accountable laws known to mankind, which is the law of God, you know, and I serve Him truthfully, you know, and honestly. And I know that not everyone does, and that's unfortunate, brother, because I mean, He is real. And I've tested that to my death. I've been dumped across town, body dumped across town, dead, killed, hits put on me, you know, money collected on my body.
Here in Moreno Valley?
No, not here, but in LA.
Oh, in LA.
You know, so it's you know, every man has a choice: serve the God of life, or not. You know what I mean? And I just make that. It's a simple, logical decision. Obviously, I want it to live. I like smiling. Couldn't do it for 12 years.
Oh, wow.
Makes a perfect 7 in the mirror. This is where you get Godzilla from. The upper mandible is called the maxilla. You got the upper mandible of God, Godzilla. All right? So, I couldn't smile for 12 years. That's all I'm trying to do is have an excuse to do so every day and every moment of my life. And it was robbed from me for 12 years and then some. So, you know, it's you know, hard enough and challenging enough as it is. And I just, you know, I'm just striving for a better life like anyone else, you know? And I've discovered through all this hardship what my true rights are and what my true birthright is in Christ, etc. as well. And I just move it that freedom and within those constraints and not any more constraints than that to be pursuit of happiness and freedom. in the name of our country. You know what I mean? And everything that we stand for. I got a full ride scholarship to West Point University. The only reason I didn't take it was because a friend of mine got blown up in a cargo truck on a minefield. And I said, dude, are you serious? You told me that my people were going to be all right. She's dead. And
Did you serve in the military by chance?
I was this close.
Oh, okay.
I aced the ASVAB, 93, I think, on the ASVAB.
You can almost go anywhere with that score.
Absolutely. I was
West Point. You know?
yeah, they gave me a full ride. I was raised by the Rockefellers. They were, grooming me for presidency. Honestly, I don't have time to pull your chain or embellish. I don't even have time to tell you the whole story, much less make anything up. Hey.
No, hold on, just give me 1 second, okay?
God bless you, man. How you doing, sir?
How you doing, sir? I'm Sergeant Bergen with the Marina Valley Sheriff Station.
Yes, sir.
You understand we're with the Sheriff's Department, right?
I do. I see
Okay.
that. I sure hope so, at least, huh?
Okay. Do you know what we're trying to accomplish here?
I do not.
Okay. We're just trying to verify that your truck is registered and that you have a valid driver's license.
All right.
And then at that point, that will complete our investigation, and then we will be done and be able to get out of here.
All right. Well, I do apologize that this is all I can give you here is this information, starting with this notice.
Okay.
All right. All due respect, of course, to your entire position. I understand you have an oath to this document here. I know my right. I know everything. Right. We're good there. But I have to exercise my rights and do all that as well.
Understand that driving a vehicle is not a right; it's a privilege.
I am not driving. Absolutely, that's true. I'm not driving. I'm traveling.
My deputy watched you drive up here, though.
I'm not driving.
You're not now, but you were driving when you pulled into here.
That, if I may, sir, that guy right there in that truck, he's driving because he's being employed to go from A to B. I'm not employed. I'm not being paid.
You were operating this motor vehicle.
I'm not operating. I'm simply traveling in my personal private conveyance.
And it requires a license and a registered vehicle to do it legally in the state of California. All I'm asking is for your name, your birthday, and the registration of the vehicle. That's all I'm asking. You can show me that all you want. I understand that.
I have not committed a crime, correct?
You ran a red light, so yes, you did commit a crime.
It's
a traffic violation.
That is and that's what I didn't run a red light. By the way, I did stop.
It is an infraction.
And mind you, I did stop.
Okay.
So in both ways, I have not committed any crime or violations. And I didn't even infract either.
Okay, we're not here to argue that, right? And you got all your legal rights, and you understand those.
Absolutely.
You can go and talk to the judge and go, hey, I didn't, if you contest it, right? We haven't even determined if we're going to give you a citation for it. Right now, this is an investigative stop to make sure that your truck is legally registered and that you are authorized to drive. You have a legal license to drive. At this point, we don't know that.
Right, and as mentioned, I'm not a driver. That I can show you the term right here.
You are the operator of this vehicle.
I'm not operating. I'm simply traveling in my personal private property, personal private conveyance. The law is right here. Every bit of case law and the documentation from which
Okay.
case it comes from is right here. It shows what a driver is and what a vehicle is and what a motor vehicle
Is
is.
there any way I can get you to step out?
Not at all,
We can
sir.
talk to you.
Not at all, sir. Because I have not.
Nothing we can do to get you to.
No, sir.
cooperate
I'm
with us.
perfectly with
I do not
lawful.
want to take you to jail.
I'm perfectly lawful, and I'm within my rights and the scope of the law, the most supreme law of the land, which is the Supreme Court, which states right here that I do not even need a license. But that's not the question.
You do need a license in the state of California. The state law supersedes. when
No,
comes
it
in.
does not, sir. It does not supersede the Supreme Court. That's the whole point.
Requirements
of
for
the Supreme
driver's
Court.
licenses to operate a motor vehicle.
Right.
It absolutely does.
A
The
motor
Supreme
vehicle.
Court-
That's what that is. A motor vehicle.
This is a
This
motor
is
vehicle
not a
under
motor vehicle, sir. This
California
is
law.
a
It is.
private conveyance.
Under California law, this is a motor vehicle.
No, sir. Absolutely not. This is
It
my
is.
personal private property, brother.
And it's a motor vehicle.
No, it is not. That is defined right here. I will show you.
Okay.
If you know, and mind you, you must acknowledge that at every we've been going here 16 minutes.
Okay.
Every 5 minutes that you take of mine, if you elect not to fill this out, I have the right to remain silent. I'm just doing this out of courtesy because I just want to go home. I want y'all to go home. All right. But every
want you to
5
go
minutes
home.
that you did not elect to fill this out,
Why are you not cooperating with us?
I am cooperating. I'm
You are not,
fully cooperative.
We have asked for your driver's
But I am
license
exercising my
and the
rights.
registration of your vehicle.
Here, sir. This is what I have for you.
Okay.
Okay? All right?
We have asked for your driver's license and your registration. This has absolutely nothing on it.
Sure it
It
does.
has nothing with any sort of information that I'm requesting.
That has everything that you need from me in order to
It does
engage
not.
with me. So you haven't even read it yet. You're just taking a cursory glance and then you're dismissing it.
Notice of injury and or report of detainment.
You've detained me.
You are detained right now.
You're detaining me.
Absolutely.
So then you need to go
And I have
through.
I have a legal right. To
I have
do
not
that.
committed a crime.
You have.
I have
An
not
infraction
committed.
is a crime.
All right, let's go over what a crime is now. Since we want to have, studies on what everything is.
I'm not here to study.
Neither am I, brother. Neither am I. My grandfather signed this document right here that you swore an oath to. His name is John Morton. That's what I'll give you. His name is John Morton. That is my great-grandfather. He's the founding father of this country. He's the one that made sure that there was a Declaration of Independence in the first place. He's the one that made sure there was an America. If it was not for my grandfather, there would be no America. You would not have that badge. And you took an oath to that document that he signed. And my grandfather is dead right now for this country. So I'm not playing with this. This is not going to continue to happen to me. Nobody's going to harass me, okay?
This is not harassment.
This is harassment at this point because you have taken my time. You've asserted that I have done something wrong and I have not. I'm just traveling to and from going home. And the last time that I it's not a concern of yours, sir. It is here in town. All right. So
Hang tight for a minute, sir.
yes, sir. Here's your definition of a motor vehicle right here. Okay. The term motor vehicle means every description of carriage or other contrivance propelled or drawn by mechanical power and used for commercial purposes. All right, that's in case law right there. That's Supreme Court case law. Commercial purposes only. And it says period right here on the highways, period. That is from American Mutual Liability Insurance Company versus Chaput. So it's got it documented. We can look this up, Google it all day right now. Whatever needs to be done. The term used for that's it's relevant, but the bottom line is motor vehicle is this being employed in commercial purposes for hire on the highways. That's a drive.
The states are allowed to add upon that.
Absolutely not. It says it right here where
Which is why it's states' rights. It's why there's a split between Congress here in the state of California and Congress in the United States.
right, and that is why
We're allowed to impose our own laws in California as
Not
opposed
at
to
all.
Arizona and Washington and Oregon. There are constitutional rights, yes, but the states are allowed to add upon such rights.
not at all. It actually goes out of its way to directly differentiate that the state may not impose any extra where the Supreme Court has already ruled. Just find it for you here in a moment. A political subdivision of this state may not require an owner of a motor vehicle, even if this was a motor vehicle, which is defined as that vehicle over there, to register the vehicle. Registration by political subdivision prohibited. Okay. What else? I'm not subject to inspection. Right.
I'm not inspecting you.
Right. Interrogation, if you will. The right of a citizen to use the highways includes the streets, the town, city, anywhere. A state may not impose a charge for the enjoyment of a right granted by the federal Constitution. Bottom line, bam, we're done. Right there.
To drive a car is not a right, it's a privilege.
It is driving. That is driving. To be hired and employed, if you want to call that a privilege, that's fine. However, we can go right back here. See, why would you need a license to do something that's already a right? If you have a right to do something, you should not. There's no need to be licensed to be permitted to. It's like saying you have a right to. It's a privilege to breathe. It's a privilege to. If I was pulling a horse down the carriage, a carriage down the way, we wouldn't be having this conversation. You have the right to.
Have you ever like bought alcohol before?
Bought alcohol?
Yeah.
Sure.
You have to produce an ID that shows that you're above the age of 21, right?
Right. And
So where in the Constitution does it say that you have to be at a certain age in order to purchase alcohol beverages?
We're dealing with property.
I know.
We're dealing with property and travel.
That you can purchase and consume. Although you're not consuming this car, I get it, but it falls under kind of that same umbrella where you have to have some sort of identification in order to do such acts.
And
okay?
See, I have been doing this. Right, watch. I have been traveling and evidencing that I am capable of doing so since the age of maturity. Let's see here. So, my level of competency and proficiency to do so, said pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness, said to do so things, is that I've been doing them since the age of majority, peacefully and peaceably. I'm 35 years old, okay? We are all competent here. I'm not under any influence. I'm coming out of the gym. I'm going home.
I'm not suspecting that whatsoever.
Right? So, here, and this is, y'all are officers of the law, peaceable officers of the law, right? And so we can go back here. First and foremost is right there. U.S. Supreme Court says no license is necessary to drive automobile on public highways or streets. Period. Bottom line. We can go through all the case law that supports this statement. It's right there. It says it right there. These Supreme Court justices are right there and have decided that. And here's all the case law showing. These are all, this situation right here are all boom, 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 boom. Right? So unless you want to just be, just get them in court. Unless you want to be like that, then there's nothing to discuss here. You know what I'm saying? All due respect, because we already have it discussed. We're all wasting our time here. If we want to waste more time and waste the judge's time, waste the court's time, and now you've been informed, and we can go right here where it shows that once you've been, there's ignorance is not an excuse, especially for an officer of the law, right? So if I'm required to know my rights and know the law, and ignorance of the law is no excuse for me in court as just a common citizen, as a common freeman, then of course an officer of the law has no excuse. Ignorance is not a defense at all, right? So statutes at large in California, chapter 412, page 83, okay? Highways are for the use of traveling public. It's an inalienable right. The use thereof is an inalienable right given by God to move freely, meaning that pay no money, freely, and unencumbered, meaning you can't get in my way, you're not allowed to stop me or intimidate me because thereof, right? That's unfettered. If you fetter me, if you ruffle my feathers for sake of, there's no plates, you don't have this license, you don't have that, that's fettering. That means you're harassing.
But if you were to cross the street jaywalking, we could stop you to see that you're okay, one, and two, because it's an infraction to jaywalk across the street, across a highway, roadway, whatever you want to call it, that you could be hit by a car.
Well, I definitely wasn't crossing any streets and wasn't endangering anyone. There was nobody around that I have endangered, and we can go straight to that part where you must, without a corpus delicti, meaning an injured party, there is no crime, meaning that as soon as you light those lights, brother, that's a felony against you. If there's no crime that you witnessed and it has to be damaged to.
I observed an infraction.
All right, as you've confessed that you have observed what you believe to be an infraction, mind you, what you believe, right? Because all you saw was me turn onto that road. Mm-hmm. Whether or not I stopped back here and I rolled up, that's to be determined. But what you witnessed was no crime, no damage, no threat to anyone. Mm-hmm. Correct? So I didn't. There's no definition. By definition, there is no crime committed. That means that you have no right, no jurisdiction to stop me. That's the bottom line. I can show you right here, okay? Which, mind you, like I said, I'm not required to do until he fills that paperwork out. I'm just doing this out of courtesy because I love you in Christ, okay?
But what would filling out that paperwork, what would that do?
It's required by law.
You and me?
It is required by, read it. It's required by law.
What is it though?
It's an affidavit that you have noticed that you have acknowledged the law and that you're going to operate by the law. And if you don't, then it's $100,000 for every 5 minutes of my time.
So then I fill that out and I give that to you. Will you still give us your license registration?
No. All that means is that we can
So
communicate.
basically, I'm giving you information.
You
fully,
can, yes,
and you're not giving me anything in return.
because you're a public servant. I'm a private citizen. See, I'm a common law, unenfranchised common law freeman and a sovereign being, right? So you have elected through employment to enter into your position of occupation, and you serve the public, which is we the people. I am a member of we the people, right? See, so by paying my taxes and by paying for gas, that's where this comes from. So in that situation, I have every right to request of you all the information. Who are you and what are you doing, and that you provide information.
Already. I
See,
give you my name, my badge number.
Right.
I'll even give you the incident number of this call once we're done.
Right. And see, being that I'm a private citizen, I am not obligated to engage in conversation. I have every right to be left alone. I can show you right here. I can go straight to it. I have every right to be left alone and on my way and be come and go as I please. Unencumbered, meaning not stopped. Not stopped. I have the right to not be stopped unless I run somebody over, hit somebody, damage. Let me go to that real quick for you, okay? So we can understand what's going on here, that I have not committed a crime because a crime is defined by damage. Here you have it, okay? Oh, where'd he go? Okay. So I'm just, bottom line here is that I'm 100% lawful, entirely within the scope of legality. I haven't infracted any legalities because I didn't even run that light or stop light or any of that. If that's to be determined, then, then determine it and, talk to me later. But as of now, I have not committed a crime. And that as soon as he lit those lights up without a crime being committed, that is a felony. See, so this is all going to come back to him as like, hey, what do you think you were doing lighting those lights up without an emergency or a crime committed? You have broken the law. And then you're coming to me telling me that I'm doing anything wrong. I'm just going home. I'm doing nothing wrong. Not to mention that you people, right? God bless you, but your counterparts have already established a set-up situation where they harassed me all the way to my house and towed my motorcycle and overnight charged me $600 for a motorcycle tow when it was on my property. So you're telling me that I'm doing something wrong when I'm just coming and going, and everybody else is harassing and stalking, gang stalking, following me around everywhere I go. Want to make an example out of me? You're only making an example out of yourself before God, because I serve him. All right? It's the only reason I'm doing this is to educate you, because I know that I am fully lawful. And this needs to stop happening, especially to me. And it's going to. Hello, sir.
Sir, trying to look for a resolution to this.
It's just letting me go about my business, brother.
Okay, unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
Well, that is unconstitutional, sir.
At this point, that's something that you can contest at a later time. But we are not going to leave until we have verified your driver's status and your vehicle status.
Well, I can tell you my driver's status. I am not a driver. I do not drive.
Okay.
I travel.
Okay. We can have a disagreement right here. That's fine. I don't mind about that. But what
and so I'm to be hauled into court.
Okay, I'm not going to haul you into court. Right? That's not my intention.
I'm to be summoned to court and discuss things that have already been discussed.
Can I explain?
All right.
What will happen?
But you haven't given me my notice back. That's $100,000 for every 5 minutes. So if you want to take more of my time.
Either you provide your name and birthday so we can verify who you are and your driver's license status,
which I haven't committed a crime, so I'm not obligated to do, but all right, I hear you.
Okay. And your registration status, right? Or at least the VIN number to your vehicle so we can verify. I don't even need to see the paperwork.
Well, see, that's under duress. You're telling me if I don't give to you, you're gonna harass and detain, and this is my vehicle.
Sir, what I will do.
I'm sorry, not vehicle. This is my private conveyance,
though. What I will
though.
do if you do not comply is I will break this window.
Well, that's destruction of property. That's a crime.
Fine. I will unlock this door and we will forcibly remove you from this vehicle. You are now obstructing our investigation.
Okay, let's. You're
obstructing our
since you're encumbered.
We will take you to court, and you will see the magistrate, and you can discuss all that stuff, and you can bring all this stuff you want to court. Okay, do you understand that?
Duly noted. Now,
okay,
so
do you understand the repercussions if you don't provide us the information that we are requesting?
Right? I heard what you said. Okay? Yes, sir. I heard what you said.
I appreciate and I respect your constitutional rights.
Do you? You took an oath, brother.
Do.
You took an oath, and you're violating them right now.
And I'm trying not to violate your constitutional
rights. Well, you already have.
I am not violating your constitution.
All of you individuals, sir, have already done so, and I can show you right here and now. If we're gonna take our time, if we're gonna take my time,
take our time, absolutely. I'm giving you the benefit.
Because I'm peaceable. I'm peaceable.
Okay, and you understand the consequences of what will occur if you do not comply with us, right? Ultimately, in the end, that's what's gonna happen. And I don't have all night to do this.
Right, and nor do I. And I have the right here to travel freely and unencumbered. That means that all this is right here is encumberment. You're encumbering my travel.
Okay.
And with
in California, you're required to have a valid driver's license, and your vehicle is required to be registered. Currently registered.
All right. So let's address one claim at a time. In the state of California, you said that I have this requirement. All right. So let's go to the state law that addresses what you're speaking about. Okay. Because like I said, every single thing is right here for you to have.
In the California Penal Code, it says that. Or the California Vehicle Code, you have that section?
Yeah,
here?
I have this here, sir. So a state may not impose a charge for the enjoyment of a right granted by federal constitution. The right grant here that we're speaking of, the right
to drive a vehicle.
It is a right to travel. I am not.
To drive a vehicle. You can travel all you want.
All right, let's talk about driving.
Be on foot,
okay,
let's be by a horse.
By a horse or a horse-drawn carriage, exactly. Let's talk about what driving is so we can understand the law here, what driving and what a motor vehicle is. Which you haven't given me my affidavit back, so I'm not required to do this until you fill that out, technically. But I'm trying to be courteous, trying to be cooperative.
Sir, I'm trying to give you every opportunity to just open the door and provide us the information that's requested. I don't even need you to open the door at this point. I just need your information that we're requesting.
Like I said, the best I can do for you is I can give you my grandfather's name that signed this document. Okay. His name is John Morton.
His name the same as yours.
And I stand on the Constitution, and I stand on the common law. And it says here, traveling is not a privilege requiring licensing, registration, nor forced insurances. It is a right. Let's go to what a right is. A legal right, a constitutional right, means a right protected by the law, by the Constitution, but government does not create the idea of right, nor original rights, but acknowledges them. Rights are given to us by God. I have the right to travel freely.
You can travel freely, absolutely.
And unencumbered. That's all I'm doing is traveling freely.
You are operating a motor vehicle.
No, I'm not, sir.
Okay. Process, you're operating a motor vehicle.
So, all right. So you're under the belief that I am operating a motor vehicle. The right to operate a motor vehicle, an automobile, upon the public streets and highways is not a mere privilege. It is a right of liberty, the enjoyment of which is protected by the guarantees of the federal and state constitutions. And where is that from? That is from Barbarian versus Lucier. That's case law documented right there in the Supreme Court.
Required to have a driver's license?
No, sir. Yes, okay, I'll go to that part right now.
Yes, you are.
I will go to that part right now, sir, then. That the state may not impose.
Is there anything else I can say or do to get you to actually provide me the information I'm requesting?
All right,
Vehicle registration information and your driver's license, or at least your name and birthday, so I can identify who you are.
All right, so.
And your driver's license status.
So you need my name, which.
Your name and your birthday.
Which,
so I can
as we.
Who you are.
Right, which as we both know, right? If there's no crime committed, I'm not required to.
You just committed a crime by running a red light.
That is not a crime. And it's been repeated. It has been an infraction.
It is an infraction.
Infraction's not a crime because a crime is corpus delicti. That means damage.
Okay.
Right.
I'm listening.
All right. That means damaged body or person. That means I'll go right to it so that I'm not misquoting. All right. Without corpus delicti, there cannot be a crime. There can be no crime. It's not a possibility. All right.
It's required you provide the information
Traffic
required.
infractions are not a crime. This is from People versus Battle. We're wasting our time. If we take this to court, we're wasting the court's time and the judge's time.
We're not wasting time.
All right, then
California law.
then we're all learning.
It's California law at this point.
California law answers to the Supreme Court law, sir. Correct? Am I mistaken?
I understand.
That is correct, right or wrong? The California law, state law, answers to Supreme. That's why we have a judicial process, because it answers to the Supreme Court.
Is there anything I can say or do to get you to open this door and provide the information I requested?
Well, sir, I'm not. Am I
You understand?
required to do
I've
so?
already told you what the consequences are. We will break your window. Open the
So
door,
you're willing. Hold
out of
on.
the vehicle.
You're
Yes, I
willing
am.
to damage my
Yes, I am.
property,
At this point,
which
yes.
is a crime. That's we just went over.
Yes, I am at this point.
Why?
I'm giving you the opportunity because
Why would you do such a thing? Why would you break the law when I haven't broken the law? Why would you do that?
you committed an infraction.
So over what your officer believes is an infraction, you're willing to commit a crime?
To avoid this is provide me the information I'm asking.
So under duress. So you're placing me under duress to coerce me into
I'm gonna
cooperation.
place you under arrest is what I'm going to do.
Under
And you can-
for
and
what
then you can
crime?
provide it in court for obstructing my investigation.
Okay,
Obstructing
let's
my deputy's investigation.
see. I'm not trying
At
to
that point,
obstruct
that's
any
where we are at.
investigation, and we can go to that part right there that speaks about the investigation. All right, it's on that contract, on that affidavit, which you haven't filled out and given me back, as a matter of fact.
I won't be filling it now.
Well, then that's $100,000 for every 5 minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine with you. Okay, well, that's fine with you. All right, so you want to write me a
Your name, your
citation?
birthday, and I don't even have any chance to write you a citation at the moment.
I'm sorry?
We haven't even discussed the citation. We're going to find out if you're even valid to drive the vehicle.
Well, I'm not.
And if
Like
the-
I said.
And if the vehicle is registered in the state of California or any other state for that matter.
Okay, so you need verification of driving